Alright, let's go ahead and bring the kids up here and do our prayer and get them on out so they can go and worship God out there in the Sunday room. Oh, yes, you should be on the back. It's fine, it's fine. Y'all can come over here. You don't have any shop. No? Okay, you can stay over there. You can be the owner. I know you're not gonna. Oh, what do you get? You got a tablet? Kids nowadays, I swear. Gotta have cell phones, gotta have tablets. I know. You shouldn't eat one. Come here. We gotta pray. Alright. Dear Heavenly Father, we'd like to ask you to be with us, be with our future, be with our kiddos here, and just give them the wisdom and the courage just to grow up in your name, just show them the light down, shine the path that you want for them, just be with them as they grow. Just pray for the teacher today and just give her the wisdom and the guidance that you have to teach the kids. Be with them in your name. Amen. Amen.
Good luck. You need a hand?
No, I don't think I can get it. If it's if I'm screaming in terror, someone come out there.
I will. And I know that you get what's in something.
All right. Last week, I just now seen the video last night about what Mark taught on last week, and it kind of wowed me in a sense. I was like, God, seriously, it's funny how whenever me and Mark talked before, Mark's like, that's what I want to teach on. I was like, that's crazy, because I was going to teach on that. And then, so it's funny how God doesn't only talk to me, but he talks to other people, and he guides us in a sense of where, hey, okay, I'm going to put this with you, so when you talk to this person, y'all come to be a chain. It's like a chain link effect. So last week, Mark taught about taking out your trash. What garbage are you carrying that you're going to throw out? Well, my teaching this week is called being a prisoner. How many of us have trash that we want to throw out, but we're not throwing out? We have it sitting around. So it kind of wowed me, because I was like, you know what, God, ever since last Monday, put this on my heart that prisoner. So I like to go to Hebrews 13:3. Say amen when you're there. Hi, stranger. You want to come up here? No, come on. Come join the crowd. Wearing that white shirt up in here. So when you think about being a prisoner, it kind of training on rock and a hard spot, right? All right. It says, Hebrews 13:3. remember those in prison as if you were there yourself. Remember also those being mistreated as if you felt their pain in your own bodies. Okay, baby. So, we think about prisons and we're like, so he's saying, what if we was in prison? How would we do that? Like, how would we feel? Because there's a lot of people in there being mistreated, not only by the guards, but by the inmates, right? Like, a little story that I have to share about that is, I did prison ministry with Warriors for Christ. We went down, and we went in there, and I was terrified at first, a little bit, let me tell you. I mean, going through that many gates, and then, but as we was in there, and I seen these big guys, way bigger than me. It was like trying to look down on me. I was like, okay, I became actually more comfortable because that's what I'm used to. But I was like, let me just give this a shot. Let me kind of loosen up a little bit. And I had some of these inmates going, so what do you know about being an inmate? Why do you know about being in prison? I don't know about being in prison, but I know about my mistakes. I learned from them, right? So then, I had some inmates going, thank you for coming seeing us. We don't have nobody to come see us. So you coming to prison? Thank you. And then the pastor David Kimbrough got a lot of letters saying thank you for coming seeing us. Because they don't have nobody. A lot of times when you get locked up, 90% of them are just locked up. They don't have nobody. Mom passed away, maybe grandma passed away, maybe, the husband's left, or the wife's left or something, So they're thankful for that. But one of the inmates, it was over the walking us around, he said that not even 2 days before we came, he was walking through the gym. He's seen 4 inmates jump up on this one inmate, raped him, and beat him. The guards didn't do nothing about it. So you want to talk about mistreated? Let me tell you something. Prison is no game. I want to leave that up to how we are with ourselves. When we think about different types of prison, I went ahead and I Googled it just for fun and see what it had on Google, right? And it said, while every prison serves the same basic purpose, there are many types of prisons. That's the Google meaning. So as it says, that serves the same basic purposes, but there are many types of prisons. Like there's juvenile, there's minimal, there's minimum, and there's high security. There's also military prisons. There's also federal and state prisons. There's even jail and a prison. If you go to a jail, it's not like a prison. So, it's and you're asking, how is this related to Christians? How is this related to us? Sometimes we hold on to what we don't want to get. We want to get rid of it for Christ, but we don't. So in our ways that we hang on to stuff, it kind of puts us in our own prisons. Like last Wednesday night, our Bible study was, we had the ladies over here, we had the guys over here. And we talked about, you know, because when both genders are together, sometimes we keep secret. When we open up to our genders, we open up more. And we have our problems and our struggles that we're dealing with. Because, like for instance, men grieve different than ladies do. Ladies, they cry and they're like, man, we're like, yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, I'm good. We get off by ourselves and then we start to cry. We start breaking down. So see, there's a perfect example of when we hold something in because we don't want to get rid of it. So it's like I say, it's the prison by letting our old ways in. Which how many of us do that? If you don't raise your hand because you don't let your old ways in, sorry, but you're lying. There's to be some one way that it's knocking at your back door and you're saying, he's saying, let me in. And you're like, no, I don't need you. Go. Because you're already doing it out. But there's still temptations, there's still struggles that we knocked out that they're trying to get back in. So we got to think about what are we allowing ourselves to hang on to and what are we throwing out. Because when we're not throwing it out, it's coming back and biting us. So it's like this. I need a volunteer. It's like this. When you allow your old struggle, your old ways to come back and say, yeah, when you open that door for them, you're doing this. What is that representing?
Bondage.
You're taking yourself as a prisoner. Why? You're not letting it go. Or I need another volunteer. I need one more. Or let's say that you have a beef for somebody, right? Like you have a grudge on somebody. You're allowing that somebody. Now you're taking someone else. And guess what? And where you go, there you go. Go somewhere. Try to go somewhere. What happened? They can't separate, right? Why? Because that person's held you as a prisoner. How are you supposed to let go from that? How's that going to be whenever you say, you know what? Set me free, man. What did I got to do here? Got to let that grudge go. This represents God. This key is God. When you give your struggles, you give you're trash to God, guess what? He's gonna come right back here. He's gonna say, you're free. He allows us to live freely. The United States of America is based on a Christian nation. We get to do what we want to. So our decisions leads us up to where we want to go. Do we want to be in these? Or do we want to be free? You know, there was a prisoner in that prison made a statement to me. He goes, you know what, if all of us was not guilty, we won't be in here. But they made decisions to be where they are. So where are you going to decide to be? Are you going to decide to throw away that trash? Are you going to get away from being that prisoner and live in the light of God, what He has planned for us? Because that's where we're going to be free. Now, I want to talk about Paul. Paul is man, you really know about him? Boy, you know what he's been through. The struggles, the fights, the hammering on that he's been on. So, I got a good long verse that we're going to teach on today. And it's going to be Acts 16. We're going to kind of role play this one out. As I read the verse, we're going to have some demonstrations going on, and it's going to be pretty cool. What's that smile for, Jason?
I know it's in.
Huh?
I know that's in.
All right. For this one, I'm going to need two more volunteers. See, who wants to be the prisoner? See, Paul, was a prisoner. He got put in prison. Go sit down in that chair. And back then, we didn't have guns, now did we? What did they have back then? Swords. So you're the guard. You want to sit over here? Now don't hit nobody with that now, okay?
Especially your brother.
So we're going to start in Acts 16:25. But we're going to see the miracles of God. we're going to see the power God has here on earth. What God can do in us and out of us. It says, around midnight, Paul and Silas were playing and singing hymns of God. And the other prisoners was listening. Suddenly, there was a earthquake. So what did God do there? He shook the earth. He didn't want to say, you know what? I'm just going to be looking in somebody and living through somebody. No, he showed everybody, you know what? I'm here. And the prison was shaken to its foundation. So, exactly what earthquake does, right? If there's an earthquake right now, we're going to be shaking. The cement's going to be busted. Because the ground's going to be moving, right? All the doors immediately flew open. So this is a prison. Door went open. God says, you know what? We're going to free those. The prisoners will be free. The chains of every prisoner fell off. So God literally took these chains and he goes, damn, there's a miracle of God, right? Then all of a sudden, the chains of every prisoner fell off. The jailer woke up. He was asleep. All of a sudden, he's awake now. He sees all the doors open. So guess what? What did he do after he woke up? Do you think he panicked? Or do you think he just said, oh, let me close the doors again. Let me see what happened. Because he was asleep the whole time that the earthquake was going on. The jailer woke up and seen the prison doors open wide. As the jailer, the prisoners had escaped, so he drew his sword. Turn it upside down. As the prisoner, as they was escaping, the guard was like, you know what? Oh my God. I messed up. I was asleep. I fell on my job. What's going to happen to me? He got scared. So he drew his sword to kill himself. And then all of a sudden, what did he do? But Paul went to him and said, stop. Stop. God didn't want him killing himself. He panicked because he's scared of what's going to happen to him. And then all of a sudden, that's not what God wanted. It ain't going to happen. So he brought Paul to the guard and said, you know what? Don't do this. Don't kill yourself. We are all here. All the inmates was still there, except for they got out themselves. The jailer called of lights and ran to the dungeon to fall down before Paul and Silas. Then he brought them out and asked, "Sir, what must I do to be saved?" By that time, he knew God was real. Yeah, he worked at a prison. Did you really think all of them believed in God? They didn't. But then whenever he came to Paul and Silas said, "Hey, what can I do to be saved?" Do you think he felt God then? Oh yeah. And then it said, he replied, Paul replied and said, "Believe in the Lord Jesus. He will, and you will be saved, along with everyone in your household." So not only did he ask for being saved, but what did Paul say? Believe in Jesus our Lord, and when you go home, your household will be saved. Mm-hmm. Why is that? Man, husband, is the household, the ruler. That's who's supposed to be guiding the household. So whenever we put our faith in our family, and they see that we have faith in God, we're making our household saved. And then it says, along with everybody in the household, and they shared the whole word of the Lord with him and with all who lived in his household. Even at that hour of that night, the jailer carried for them and washed their wounds. Man, so that jailer is going, you know what? Let me wash your wounds. I'm sorry. Why is that? Why do you think he cared enough to change, start washing their wounds? Jesus went inside his heart. He took that broken heart and came over here and fixed it. So now he has a whole heart. So now he can care about other people. Instead of standing fast for anger and hate and pain, he stands fast for love. Then he and everyone in his household was immediately what? Baptized.
Uh-oh.
Man, I don't know about you, but that's man, that's crazy. That's why we get baptized, because when we get into our spirit, when we get into the Holy Ghost, when we get in God's line, we get whole again. He takes the brokenhearted and makes it into a whole heart that loves and cares. He brought them into his house and set a meal before them, and he and his entire household rejoiced because they all believed in who? God. God. So I don't know about you, but if Paul can come and save the guard and then change the guard's life and say, you know what? I can get baptized. I can change. I can be that loving God. I can be that faithful ruler of the household. Then what can He do with us? Because see, back then, they didn't have Bibles. They was getting the heart from God. See, we got lucky today where we can read this awesome book and we can see the stories, we can see the mistakes, we can see what God did back then. Because without this, we'd be lost. We wouldn't have the Word of God. We would, but we would have to really focus on it. We wouldn't have to bear the focus on money, cell phones. We would be clueless on what did Jesus really do, and we didn't have the Word. Let me tell you something. God gives us the key to life. You know, you may see some homeless people out there on a corner ask for change. Oh, I'm hungry, I'm starving. Well, walk up with the Bible. See what kind of response you get. They think this is nothing. We take, just like I seen on Facebook where this guy had a pile of leaves. And he goes, you know what? These people was wanting to rake these up and throw them out. That's good. These people took this pile of leaves he raked up and was like, you know, just get rid of them. They're nothing. But really, this guy took them home and he put them in his yard. A few months later, that pile of leaves turned into a pile of dirt. Rich dirt. So the garden can be what it needs to have, all the nutrients, all the, to grow a good plant. So while we're throwing away what is nothing, it's actually the key, what God has for us. When we follow Christ, that's how we get rich. Money don't make us rich. Because when God leaves, we're gone. That stays here. That bank, whatever it's in your bank account, or it's in your wallet, whatever vehicles you're driving, whatever friends you have, or supposed to call friends, that are the ones passed away and it's in heaven, you think? Because maybe you hope to see them in heaven. Let me tell you something. We have a lot of friends down here on earth. But we got to ask ourselves, do they really know God? Are they really giving all to God? If they're not, we're not going to see them in heaven. So when we walk, they see that in us. It makes them, if they don't know Jesus, then they will, because then they want to have that victory like we have. So, my question to you is, when it comes down to it, what treasure you're not throwing away? What prison, or what's keeping you as a prisoner? What are you not getting rid of that it is saying, you know what? I need to get rid of this. I need to say, you know what, God? I give this problem. I give this struggle up to you. Because let me tell you something. The more you're fighting this struggle on your own, you're standing least. You're not allowing God to take the handcuff key and, you know what? Take them off of you. You're allowing yourself to be chained down and held down and restricted. Like that meaning says, every prison serves the same purpose. Let me tell you something. Every struggle, every sin you have serves the same purpose as it says in those prison systems. So who has a struggle here that allowing these to stay on them? Now, I'll tell you one thing. Ever since I came to be a pastor, I had this one struggle constantly meet me at my back door because I allowed it in. Taking this step helped me kick it out all the way. And thank God for that. He's the one that did this. I didn't. He gave me the strength. He gave me the courage. He gave me the wisdom. I want y'all to have the same thing. The victory of knocking these off saying, I don't want them. This is an open altar right now. If you have any struggles you're dealing with as Christians, I'm going to ask you to, you know what? There's an altar. Come pray for them. Be taken off of you. If you need prayer, that's the key. The key is prayer to getting these struggles, getting these enemies off your back. Getting those handcuffs off of you. Getting these restraints off of you. I could have brought a chain up here and tied you down. I just want you to get the image of your struggles, your pains, the angers. It's not worth it, people. God has a purpose for you. See, God has the same purpose that that enemy has for you. So when you struggle, guess what? God says, I'm making you stronger for something. I got bigger and better things for you, and I'm going to pit it up to be in my arms. All you shall me. God has it all. You don't think you have the financials of today? Ask God. Is there anybody in here? I know that this is the same bunch, but if there's anybody in here not saved, or say, you know what? I need to redeem myself again. I made a mistake. I didn't really mean it. It's just been on my heart to ask again. If you don't know Christ and you want to come to know Christ and you want to say, you know what? I want to be saved. Those handcuffs, I want them off. Take them. All the strains that I have on me, just drop them. Take them, God. Help me. Because that's what God is here for. We're all living testimonies. That's what God wants from us. Like I said, if you got any struggles, don't feel ashamed to come to somebody and say, you know what, I need help. That's one of our major weaknesses we have, is to afraid to admit that we have these struggles. If you don't have this a Christian friend or someone you can go to and ask for help, then I'm here. But if you got that one certain person that you feel like you can open up to, it's awesome. Start talking. Let God lay on you. Say, you know what? Because right when you start admitting these, and you confess your struggles, let me tell you something. Somebody out there can help you with them. Because Jesus speaks through somebody. How many times have you talked to somebody and it helped you? Because you're hearing them, but is it really them talking, or is it God going in them and out of them, telling you how to do something? Where you need to, if you need to be over here, if you need to be over here. God is alive. God lives in us, lives out of us, lives through us. So when you go and you're talking about, I need help with this struggle, there's somebody out there. So when we test our faith, it's not a faith test. It's us being manly. It's us not admitting that we need help. So if you need help, don't be afraid to step up. That was my major thing, and now I'm admitting it. I struggled. I had these bargains. I can do this on my own. I couldn't. I admitted it. I talked to God. I was still struggling. To admit you actually give it up to 100%, and you give and you say, God, take this, and you actually stand by it, it will be gone with anything. So, like I said, if y'all just need anything, don't be feeling ashamed to come up to me or anybody in this church. If you just need to have a private conversation, we can do that too. But you're not going to be judged. These 4 walls, you're not going to be judged. No, I'm not going to allow it. So go ahead and we're going to finish up. We're going to pray for this week. We're going to pray for our struggles, because I know we all got them. Dear Heavenly Father, we'd like to come to you. We'd like to give up all of our struggles to you. As you know, all of us are some of us are thick-headed. Some of us are just don't want to admit it. But we ask you to come and take away from us anyway. We ask you to bring out everything, that all the trash, all the negative that we have in our lives. So we just come to you and just pray that you can just take everything off of us that it's not in your will. If it's something that we are not giving up, we ask you to give us the power to say, you know what, God, you're right, I don't need this, take it. Show us that it's not. We ask it in your almighty name that we stay where we need to be faithful ones that we need to be, and just take out all the trash. In your name, amen. Go ahead.
I sent an emergency
Okay.
alert for prayer. I just checked my phone and got a text from her that they tried pulling brother's breathing tube out again. and came through flying colors this time.
Amen.
Thank
Let's go and say a quick healing prayer for what's his name?
you.
Bugsy.
His name is,
Bugsy?
they call him Bugs.
Bugs.
Yeah, it's Rhonda, his brother, and Tyler's uncle.
Okay. Heavenly Father, we'd like to come to you and just ask you not to only heal Bugs, but heal all the sick out here in the world. If it's in your power to heal them in your way or our way, we just ask you to put healing power on all the sick families out there, and just heal all the sick, and we're grateful that Bugs came through like he did, and just that way we're seeing your work. Let it be your work in your name. Amen.
Amen.
We are dismissed.
Hey, brother, you forgot to take an offering.
Now, there's,
Actually, the offering box,
it goes in the box back there on the wall.
Okay.
the offering box is in the right there. I don't have to run a plate.
Confessions, good to the soul, is starting a church and pastor and experience. I didn't ever want to put a burden on anybody, but God, the Lord, also been tithes and offerings. So you do